went to the gym and did my training. I'm worn out. So when I go and I do my training, I do what's called the New Fit system at a place called Zap Neurofitness here in Sedona. Amazing trainer that I work with, that I've been working with for many years now. And I was mentioning it earlier, but I really attribute that this trainer and this New Fit therapy, I really do attribute it to me functioning and being as healthy as I am today. When I started doing this 4.5 years ago, I was disabled. I was in the last phase of Social Security disability approvals, and I had taken a short and then long-term disability leave from my work. And I've worked at the same place, the same large company for almost 22 years. So I still work at the same place. I went back to work because, again, I started doing this New Fit training, and I ended up able to go back to work. So, but backing up, when I started doing this, I was disabled. I wasn't even able to be really upright. The dysautonomia had gotten so severe that anytime I was upright, my body would go into like a hyperadrenergic state. And I had lots and lots of tests, so I can use these big fancy words, but basically what was happening was when I was upright, my body was freaking out and pumping out norepinephrine and these catecholamines that are essentially adrenaline in a way, and are going to really hype your body up. Now, the reason that was happening was because I do have a genetic condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which makes my body too stretchy, essentially. And so when your body's stretchy, you are going to have maybe some manifestations in your body from that. And so we could talk about this for hours, but in the case of the dysautonomia, what was happening was if you think about it, your body is full of, fluid, blood, and we're just kind of like a big old baggie of liquid walking around. And if you think about a baggie of liquid when it's laying down versus a baggie of liquid and you try to stand it up, in order to stand that baggie of liquid up, you'd have to squish the bottom of the bag to get the fluid to the top. And that's essentially what your body does when it's upright. Your body is like, oh, well, this person's gone from recumbent to a vertical position, and your lower extremities, the bottom half of your body, the veins and the vasculature needs to constrict so that it'll keep blood in the top half of your body. Because guess what? The top half, that's where your brain is. So you want to keep blood flow to your brain, or you're going to have some symptoms. So for me, because I'm too stretchy, the understanding was that when I stand up and my body's like, hey, we need to constrict these blood vessels and different things to keep that blood in the top half of my body, the idea is that since I'm too stretchy, my body's not really effective in doing that. And so blood pools, and blood remains in the bottom half of the body because my body can't constrict well. It's too stretchy. It's too lax. So I had gotten deconditioned to the point where I wasn't able to be upright. I would basically go into like like almost like a fainting type, spasmodic kind of, I was a real mess. I would get so lightheaded and disoriented standing up that I would have to really do anything to sit, or even better still, lay down. And so I lived a period of my life just walking around looking for places to sit down, and feeling almost this just feeling of fear that I was going to fall at any moment. And of course, feeling that fear just makes your body, pump out more stress hormones. And gosh, I just really had a very difficult time functioning. I was using a walker, the type that has a seat, so that I would always have a place to sit down no matter what. And this is just one of the things I was experiencing. There were so many other things that I was experiencing that it was, even though I've always been the type of person that just really works to accommodate around what I'm able to do or not able to do, and there's a lot of variability with that, it got to the point where I just really could not function. I couldn't, there weren't enough adaptations really for me to function. And so my life became limited. I became more disabled. And the more disabled I became, the more deconditioned. And then it starts a whole process. So there were quite a few things that led me back to being healthy. But one of those critical things to leading me back to being healthy was getting strength in my legs and my core. Because the idea is that if you can constrict your muscles down there, like in your legs, that the constriction of the muscles will simulate that same constriction that you would have in your veins, and therefore the musculature will help you keep that blood up top. And so I worked to get strong, and I literally started by rowing for 30 seconds. And then the next time I rowed for, I think, 30 seconds again. And then I was able to do a minute, and then I was able to do a couple minutes. And then as time went on, I was eventually able to get up to rowing 20 or 25 minutes a day. And I did that for a while, off and on. And part of that process also was, at the same time, I had changed to a keto diet. That's maybe a different story, how that all evolved and happened. I didn't really go on the keto diet because of the trendiness of it. I was a pretty early adopter on keto, and it was, there's just a whole story around how that even happened. But anyway, the combination of the dietary change and the activity, and then starting to train with the neurotherapy, magic combo. I ended up doing better. I started being able to be up more and more and more, and little by slow, I worked my way back up to being a fully functional person. And so when the cancer diagnosis hit, it was kind of like, whoa, I've already been through so much. So here we are. I don't want to get deconditioned after surgery. That's always a concern. And that was something that was talked about during this pre-op last Friday, because I get deconditioned so easily. And I on the other side of that is a person that's not able to be upright, which is awful. It's just so many people suffer with that. It's awful. For me, I found a path forward, and I found a way to make that better. I know everybody body is so unique, and I'm not saying that that is the fix for everybody, but for me, there were a few critical things that I did to change my life, and then with consistency, I continued with it. So now I'm very strong, and I don't have the same like subluxations and things that I used to have with my joints, because now I'm more sturdy. I've got muscles that's supporting the joints. And as far as body pain goes, my body pain is so much improved. It's so improved. But I also think that sometimes I enjoy going to the gym because the soreness and the pain of, you know, the post gym soreness, I think is, if your body's going to hurt, I would rather it hurt for that reason, like constructively. It just feels like constructive pain rather than like just feeling stiff and decrepit and, you know, and aching and hurting for doing nothing and, you know, for sitting around. So I do really value my exercise, and I really value my trainer. I really feel like he's the reason that I'm alive right now. He knows how to fix things and tweak things, and if this is bothering me or that's bothering me, he knows what to do. We work on it, and certainly I put the work in, but I wouldn't be where I am right now if it weren't for him, and for just the consistent help that he's offered me through the years. So the gym is a big priority for me, and I am excited to continue to do that, however that's going to look. And I know that that's going to be part of this process, and I put high priority on that. I put high priority on trying to stay fit through this. I know that I'm going to be, you know, T-Rexing around or whatever with my little lame arms until I can get myself figured out again. But there's still the bottom half of my body that can stay strong, and yeah, big priority, the gym. So yeah, I went to the gym today. I go one more time before surgery. So today is Monday. Wednesday, I'm going to go again, and then go get my nails done and get my pedicure and get ready on that front. And then my mama comes and gets me on Thursday. So here we go.